In this video, I want to show you guys how you can build some good habits and replace them bad habits that have been messing up your life. A lot of you guys have really bad habits. Some of them just borderline disgusting habits, right? And you want to break these habits. You want to replace these with good habits that will help propel you towards the next level, help you achieve your goals. In this video, I want to break down how you can do that. Now, I'm well suited to tell you guys how to build good habits because my habits have been the main reason I've been able to get in great shape, build successful businesses, maintain a great relationship with my girlfriend, really live the life of my dreams, but it's all about the habits. I want to break that down for you today so you can start building some good habits so you can make some of yourself finally. All right, let's get into it. All right, so the big homie Aristotle once said, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit." He was talking about building habits. It's very important. Now, the reason it's difficult for people to build good habits is because there's actually a biological reason. Your brain uses a tremendous amount of energy. At rest, your brain uses 20% of your body's energy at rest when it's doing nothing, but it's only 5% of your body's mass. And because your brain uses so much energy, and when you're thinking, it's even more labor intensive. When you're thinking or working hard at something, your brain's going to use significantly more energy. I've read once that chess players burn something like 1,000 calories sitting still playing chess because they're thinking so much, right? Your brain consumes and utilizes a tremendous amount of energy, and it wants to conserve as much energy as possible. There's a part of your brain called the cerebellum, and this is the section of your brain that controls complex functions. And when you're trying to build a habit, your cerebellum is working. But the problem is your cerebellum uses the most amount of energy. Well, it's one of the parts of your brain that uses the most amount of energy. When you're building habits, you're using your cerebellum. Your cerebellum is using the most energy, but your brain wants to conserve as much energy as possible. This is one of the reasons why building new habits is hard. It's more labor intensive on your brain. You're gonna need a tremendous amount of discipline and push through this part. When you perform a new action, it's happening in your cerebellum, right? The energy intensive part. Over time, it moves to a part of your brain called the basal ganglia. The basal ganglia is a part of your brain that manages automatic functions. Once you've built the habit, it actually moves into your basal ganglia, right? And once it's in that part of your brain does not use a lot of energy at all. That's when it becomes autopilot and you don't need as much energy to perform the thing. First, it has to make it through your fucking cerebellum, then it moves into your basal ganglia. And once it's there, it uses way less extra energy because now it's a habit, right? But this is why it's difficult to build new habits and hard to break old habits. Building a new habit utilizes your cerebellum, which is energy intensive, and old habits utilizes your basal ganglia, which don't use much energy at all, right? So it's easier to keep doing the thing you've been doing. Problem is, most of y'all got these bad habits all up in your basal ganglia. It's easier for you to do that shit, easier to do them bitch habits. You become what I like to call a basal ganglia bitch, the worst kind of bitch. You need to have enough discipline to do the thing for a certain amount of time until it moves into your basal ganglia. Now you got the dope shit in your basal ganglia, and we in the basal gang, man. Throwing up the basal gang. All right, and that's why people see some of the things I do. They see me tracking all my macros, tracking my water intake, waking up early, performing all these different actions. And they like, man, Brandon's so disciplined. One of my boys the other day, he said, Brandon's one of the most disciplined people I know. And it doesn't feel like that to me because these things are habits now. It'd be difficult for me now to just put anything in my mouth like a whore or yo mama because my basal ganglia already got me tracking my macros, weighing my food and putting it in my MyFitnessPal. It's like, it's easy to me. Like I was at dinner with my girl and some other people and they saw me break out the scale at the restaurant like a psycho to weigh my food. And she was like, man, it takes a lot of discipline. And I'm thinking, 10, 12 years ago, it took a lot of discipline. It's fucking autopilot now. It's like brushing your teeth. When a kid starts brushing his teeth, it takes, you gotta fucking make this motherfucker do it sometimes. You know, you gotta make sure they brush their teeth, make sure they bathe and shit. But once you become an adult, most of y'all have hygiene in your basal ganglia. It'd be difficult for you to leave your house without brushing your teeth. There are exceptions. I see some of y'all in public and But that's step one, is you only need enough discipline to build the habit. Because it's only difficult when you fucking with that cerebellum shit. People saying, yo, it takes 21 days to build a habit. There's more literature I've read that suggests it may take longer. It really depends on what the habit is. The truth is, it doesn't matter how long it takes, right? If it's worth doing, you're gonna do it for as long as it takes until you get there, right? But you just need enough discipline till it becomes autopilot. So that's step one. The next thing, you gotta make sure you pick good habits. Let me show you why this is important. I'm gonna pull up this study where it shows that when people are trying to do a lot of things simultaneously that are labor intensive, it says it leaves the person depleted and it makes them unable to engage in subsequent rounds of regulation. Meaning, if you're trying to do a bunch of shit at one time, if you're trying to build a bunch of new habits or do anything difficult simultaneously, things will suffer. So you want to really focus on the few things that are important, but you can't focus on the bullshit habits. So I see a lot of shit online like, yo, man, make your bed, journal, gratitude journal, NoFap. I don't give much credence to any of those things because as they may have some benefit, like what goal are they helping you accomplish? I think you should really focus, especially initially, on habits that will help you accomplish whatever goal you have. If it's you want to get in shape, it don't matter if you fucking make your bed or not. You really need to burn more calories than you consume if you want to lose fat. So you need to focus on your diet. It doesn't matter if you fucking jerk off or not. If you burn more calories than you consume, you will lose weight. If you want to make money, hey, you gotta fucking work more maybe. It doesn't matter if you fucking make your bed, if you got a gratitude journal, if you burn sage around the house. We want to focus on the things that are important, all right? So I don't give a lot of credence to a lot of the self-help Instagram shit. Most of it's not really focused on accomplishing a goal. I'm not saying making your bed is a bad thing, but I'm super fucking rich, bro. Like, no bullshit. Like, I got a lot of money and I have not made a bed in, I don't know, man. We might be on year fucking 7 or 8 of me not making a bed. Millions of dollars, bro. I'm living the life of your dreams. I'm definitely not NoFap. That shit is the equivalent of astrology for guys. Maybe it has some benefits, you know, but NoFap ain't gonna help me make no money. And we gonna get in shape. So whatever, it doesn't matter if you fucking masturbate or not. Don't focus on the bullshit. We need to get super clear. The habits you build need to be the habits that will help you accomplish your goal. We need to really narrow down what are the things that will help me accomplish that goal. I want you to think about what your goal is or goals, right? Because remember, according to the study, if you're trying to do a bunch of things at once that are labor intensive, it's gonna be difficult for you to do any of them well. So we need to really focus our efforts on the important shit. So think about, hey, what's the one thing that if I did it, it would make everything else easier or unnecessary? If you're trying to get in shape, hey, the one thing you need to do is probably start tracking your calories. You know, you burn more calories than you consume. It doesn't matter if you fucking make your bed. It doesn't matter what your horoscope says. It doesn't matter if you fucking journal that day, if you took a cold shower. None of that shit matters. As you start each day with a full tank of discipline. But the more you use your discipline each day, the less you have, right? This is why at the end of the day, all you want to do is smoke weed and play video games, or you want to unwind or something, because you out of discipline. You used it all trying not to jag off and writing your gratitude journal. That ain't gonna help you accomplish your goal. I'm not saying you can't do that shit. Do that shit after you get some fucking bread and you stop being fat. Then you can start doing the auxiliary shit, burning sage and reading your horoscope, right? But you don't want to waste the discipline you have on shit that's not really moving you forward. So you got to make sure you pick the right habits. Once you got that shit in your basal ganglia, once that shit's fucking with the basal gang, then you can do some other shit in your cerebellum. But if you, I gotta make my bed, I gotta do a gratitude journal, I gotta pray to the sun every morning, or whatever the fuck, man, you wasting your discipline on shit that's really not gonna help you accomplish your goal. Because how you do everything is not how you do anything. That's fucking bullshit. I know guys who are in amazing shape, poor as fuck. I know guys who are fucking super rich, fat as fuck. You need to figure out what's important to you. Focus on the building the habits that will help you accomplish those goals. The next thing is don't focus on breaking bad habits. I know this sounds counterintuitive, but what you need to do, instead of focusing on bad habits, go all in on these good habits you're trying to build. Once you picked out the ones that are important, and pack your calendar with it and crowd out so you don't have time to do no bullshit. Listen, I got a lot of vices, guys. And the way I mitigate that and make sure it's not a problem is my calendar. So like check out my calendar. Like every day is packed. Every hour of every day. There's literally no time for bullshit. Like this was my calendar today. You see there's literally no white space. 4:30 a.m. I'm up. And then it's just, there was no white space today. That's not white space. That's just the color. That's That's what I'm doing right now. There's no white space on that shit. So when I started packing my calendar with shit that will help me accomplish my goals, guess what? There was no time for vices. I didn't even have to try. And then once you're not doing those things for a long time, it's like anything else. They start to leave your basal ganglia and it becomes difficult for you to do it. Those of you who've ever played an instrument and you fucking stop playing for a few months, what happened? Yeah, you kind of suck again. Or those of you who ever learned a language and you stop speaking it, yo, you kind of suck again. I used to be way better at speaking Spanish when I was managing this barbecue restaurant in Queens because I had to talk to the servers and the cooks. like, hombre, una mesa, right? And I was speaking in Spanish to these motherfuckers, and they couldn't speak English to me, so they would talk to me in Spanish, and I had to decode that shit. I could speak conversationally. We could understand each other. Man, I kind of suck at speaking Spanish. I'm not that. Oh, yo hablar un poquito Espanol, because I don't be speaking it, right? It left my basal ganglia. That's what's gonna happen with your bad habits. Once you crowd them out with shit that'll help you accomplish your goal, you really crowd it out. Then you won't have no time to fucking be out here doing all the bullshit, doing all that fuck shit you was doing before. This is my biggest problem with like no fap, right? Like motherfuckers like, oh man, you gotta not jag off. You're like, motherfucker, you niggas got time to sit around playing with yourself? You niggas should be out here getting money. Man, how do I stop playing video games? Nigga, do something else, right? You don't even have to break bad habits. Just fill your time up with shit that'll help you accomplish your goals. If you do that for long enough, that shit'll be out of your basal ganglia, man, right? If you sit around bored, of course you're gonna want to smoke weed. Now, and then the last thing you need to do is super important, is you have to draw a line in the sand. A lot of times people will try to ease their way out of a bad habit or ease their way into a good habit. I'm trying to stop smoking, right? And they like smoke a little less each day. I don't even fucking like when people say try to me. Somebody said it today. They was like, yo, I'm trying to post every day. I'm saying, you doing what? He said, I'm trying to post what? It was on one of my coaching calls with my students. And it's like, listen, man, you must be new here. We don't use that profanity around this motherfucker, right? We don't say try around here. We ain't try babies. We gonna do it or we not. You fucking try baby, cut it out. I used to smoke cigarettes. I smoked cigarettes from age 14 to like maybe 32. And I really like smoking cigarettes, man. And I was like, you know what? I should quit this one day, man, because this should be killing people. People started to know me online, and every once in a while, one of my fans would catch me smoking, and I'd be like, in my family, we are super hard to kill. Everybody lives to be in their 90s. These motherfuckers drink, they smoke cigarettes, some of them smoke crack, and they live to be in their 90s. No bullshit. We are difficult to kill. We all die of old age or gun violence. Not everybody who fucking smokes cigarettes gets cancer, right? You gotta have the cancer gene, and that's something that activates it. I was like, that shit ain't gonna affect me, because half the niggas in my family smoke. Zero effect. When y'all would catch me smoking, I knew that some of you motherfuckers do what I say or do what I do. I don't want this kid to start smoking because he saw me and he fuck around and die, and I played a role in it. So I stopped smoking for y'all. You're welcome. And I was legit addicted because I had been smoking for like 15 years, 16 years, right? I just quit. Like, it was super difficult at first. But again, everything is difficult at first. You gotta remember that habit, it was in my basal ganglia, and you know, the nicotine is addictive, and it was difficult, but then I just got used to it. So moderation is more difficult than abstinence. The reason it was easier for me, because I just drew a line in the sand, said, I just don't do this no more. Now I don't smoke no more. I didn't say I'm trying to quit smoking. I said, now I don't smoke no more. And I just didn't do it. It was super hard. Like it was definitely difficult. I'm not trying to downplay addiction. My cousin did the same shit, man. He was smoking crack. He was smoking fucking crack, man. I was young when he quit smoking crack. It was either the time he had got fucking shot 6 times, or it was the time he got kidnapped. I don't know. One of those was the turning point. And he just stopped cold turkey, man. He didn't try to fucking wean himself off crack cocaine. He just quit smoking crack one day. He's doing great now. He's got his own business. He's got a beautiful family. You know what I'm saying? Niggas ain't trying to kill him no more. He's doing great. But he just quit. But it's important. He made that straight up line and say, I'm not doing that anymore. And then even with the good habits, you got to remember, you got to crowd out the bad habits. So, all right, I don't do that no more. And you got to replace those with good habits. And you got to go all in. Like be consistent, ruthlessly consistent. Because the reason people lack consistency when they're trying to build a new habit or trying to do something is because they accept inconsistency. I've seen this a lot because I've been in the fitness industry. They'll be do good for their diet for 2 weeks or maybe even a month. And they'll be like, I deserve this. I deserve to quit. And it's like, fuck you, dumb, you fucking dipshit. And they think they're taking a break, What really happens is you quit and you have to restart. You don't think about it like that, but you have to restart. And that's what happens. It's happened to you. You went on vacation or something, and what happened? You stopped fucking with your diet, and then you never got back on it. I know that story like the back of my hand. The motherfuckers go on vacation, they don't work out, or they have to travel somewhere, and they never get back on point. I was talking to one of my clients, right? He was like, man, I was so good, man. For like a whole year, I was tracking my macros. And then, man, the travel. I'm like, the travel? And he's like, yeah, I went on this one trip and I was eating everything. And then when I came back, I just felt I didn't get back on. I was like, yeah, because you fucking quit for a week. I want you to think of something like a rocket ship. Building new habits like a rocket ship. When those rocket ship goes off, it has these two big fuel tanks on the side, right? Those fuel tanks are full of fuel and they need all that fuel to get out the atmosphere. Once it's out the atmosphere, it can start to coast. But however, you motherfuckers get out the atmosphere, or you get close to being out the atmosphere, and then you quit. Now you got to start over from ground. So starting is the hardest part. You motherfuckers have to do the hardest part over and over again. No fucking moderation. Be a fucking extremist. Extremists get all the success. You cannot take breaks. Like, I don't even believe in taking breaks. I don't really believe in fucking cheat days anymore, because I just seen cheat days turn into cheat weekends. I've seen this shit too many times. I've been in the fucking fitness industry for over 25 years. I've been a personal trainer for over 25 years. Motherfuckers will take a cheat day. I mean, almost always motherfuckers end up doing cheat weekends. And then next thing you know, they just fuck the diet. Last year, I might have did 3 cheat meals. One was on Jesus' birthday. And that goes for all, not even just diet. You can't be out here cheating on your fucking girl and shit because you gonna want some more pussy. Right? Whatever habit you've been building, you can't deviate from this shit. You gotta be fucking focused. But it makes it easier if you just don't do that no more. Like, I'm not tempted to drink. I'll be with the homies. I be at dinners, people are drinking all the time. I'm not even tempted because I just don't do that no more. But if I drank sometimes, I would want to drink. If you follow those tips, you'll be a little bit weird compared to other people. Extreme results come from extreme actions, right? You got to be an extremist if you want to get extreme results. If you want to be a regular guy doing regular shit like all these other motherfuckers, then be fucking balanced, be average, be moderate. That's what the average nigga does, man. He does things in moderation, he does things average. Average American has less than $1,000 in the bank account. The average American is 17 pounds overweight. Fucking fat losers, bro. Do you really want to be like these people? Nah, we want to stand out against these people. And so we got to be different. All right. Listen, if you want to know some of the habits I think you should build, I have a whole nother video I built a tier list of the best habits and the fucking worst habits. All right. Go check that video out right now.